Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get into this because we got to we have to have a conversation about this. This is wild. This is wild.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and
what
predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
Okay.
They're trying to.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. So essentially, just to give a brief synopsis of what's going on is what the MAGA, quote unquote MAGA, is in the middle of a civil war. And basically what this means is that the collective of people that rally behind Donald Trump and have been supporting Donald Trump, there is a divide now because you have a strong number of people who supported Donald Trump because they believed that Donald Trump was the guy who was going to keep us out of wars. And now here it is, Donald Trump might potentially take us into a war. So people are justifiably like, what the heck? You know what I mean? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? But people are it's fair. So there are people that are coming out and, you know what I mean? And this is the thing. People got to understand that Trump supporters or people who rallied or voted for Donald Trump aren't a monolith, and they also, everybody's not a yes man. There are people who blindly follow Trump and don't care whether he does right or wrong. Then there are people who can objectively say, oh, well, Donald Trump isn't perfect, but guess what? I think he did this good. I think he did this good. He's better than the other guy. I think that's a fair position to have. So what we have here is Tucker Carlson is getting a lot of heat. Not just him, but he is among the people who is getting a lot of heat because they are speaking out against this, against what is essentially America inserting themselves into the war in the Middle East, which goes against what a lot of people were, one, backing him for, but two, it's not a good situation to be in. So there are people who are giving justifiable pushback. Now, this is how we get to where we are. Now,
how many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
Why is that important?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
Why is that important? Because if you plan to go into another country and topple their government, to dismantle their government, to bring down a regime, you have to have a plan in order to sustain that country, in order to build that country up. We saw this happen with Iraq and all these places. When America comes in, you have to have a system. Do y'all not remember? I wasn't that old. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't that old, but I still remember the outcomes of what was going on when Bush was president. I'm just saying, let's be real.
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's, it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
you don't know anything about...
Just say you don't know.
Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who claims.
I'm not even gonna lie. I like Ted Cruz, but he's being very disingenuous right now. He's being very disingenuous. You're sitting there saying that you want to take down and dismantle this country's government, dismantle this country's law, but you don't even know. You gotta at least know a little bit about him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're talking to a guy who actually is sitting there.
The country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
carrying out.
Good point. It's a good point. Tucker Carlson has a point.
Military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help.
And if you really believe that,
carrying out military strikes.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
carrying out military strikes today.
That's important. We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help.
Israel.
I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here, because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
What's going on here? What's going on here? If 4 plus 4 equals, if Johnny has 2 apples and it eats 3 apples, like, come on, what are we talking about here?
Just said we were.
We are supporting
This is
Israel.
high stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's embarrassing, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's nothing against Ted Cruz. I like the guy. But Tucker Carlson just destroyed him. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? You just said, because Tucker Carlson made a good point, and this is where he tripped him up. He said, you don't believe that they want to unalive President Trump, because if you did, you'd be calling for strikes against Israel or Iran. Now, Tucker Carlson's response is, we are doing that right now. But Tucker Carlson says, but they just said that they're not doing that. And you're saying they're supporting you. We're supporting them. But they just said this, and you're saying this. It's not adding up. You guys understand what I'm saying? The situation here is just that there is an agenda going on, and they obviously have some goal that they're trying to achieve. Okay, fair enough. But I think that Tucker Carlson makes a valid point. Just be transparent about it. Keep it a buck. Is that wrong to say? Just keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. I personally think that us getting involved in this war without us absolutely needing to is just, I think it's a terrible decision. I genuinely do. But, that's just my opinion. It's my opinion. I don't want to go to war again. I don't. But I'm not the decision maker. So, you know what I mean? It's just, I can give my opinion on it. I don't think that it's a good move, but obviously there's some type of interest that needs to be protected. So I think they need to be transparent about it. And I think that Ted Cruz just needs to, just be honest. I don't understand why people have a hard time just saying they don't know. It's a lot. It's a big ask to sit there and just demand the dismantling of an entire culture and people in a country without having some type of understanding of it. I think that it's a valid point. I don't know. I might have to check out the full interview because this is insane. That was a bad look.